the Wednesday Night Blitz. Presented by
Welcome to the Wednesday Night Blitz. I'm Frankie Tovar.
And I'm Eddie Ruiz. We're here on location at the Pitman High Weight Room.
Two dudes in a weight room talking about football. Specifically, last Friday's league opener between Pitman High and Buhach Colony High. But before we get to that matchup, let's take a look at last week's scores. But back to Pitman High and the CCC standings.
Pitman High suffered their second consecutive loss, this time to the hands of Buhach Colony in a 10-0 shutout. It was expected to be an offensive shootout, but it turned quickly into a defensive effort.
And so after the first week of CCC play, Merced High, Atwater High, and Buhach Colony High sit atop the standings with a 1-0 league record, while Turlock, Pitman, and Golden Valley are each down a game. Pitman High's offense struggled from the onset, turning the ball over on the third play from scrimmage on the Donovan Bravo fumble. Buhach Colony's offense didn't do much better as Pitman's front four stood strong and stifled the running game.
Buhach's front seven was also just as successful, plugging the holes and cutting the corners and edges for Wyatt Clapper and company. Both teams entered half with a 0-0 score, and it wasn't until the third quarter when things got a little hectic for Pitman.
It all started with a block punt inside Pitman's own 15-yard line, which was recovered by the Thunder. Pitman responded with a strong goal line stand, forcing a 23-yard field goal in the first points of the game as Buhach went up 3-0. After the field goal, the offensive struggles continued for both teams until a minute and 3 seconds left in the third quarter when Quentin Labasque broke open an 88-yard touchdown dash for the Thunder, and what would be the nail in the coffin for Pitman.
Pitman was held for 57 yards in the second half, and the Thunder were only able to capitalize on under 300 yards of total offense.
Down 0-10, Pitman still had a chance to get on the scoreboard and maybe climb back into the game, as Wyatt Clapper took the ball in his hands and showed nice accuracy from the pocket. Unfortunately, there were a number of drop passes and questionable calls from the referees.
When it came down to it, only 2 plays became the deciding factor in what was Pitman's first league loss of the season.
One play on defense is really, we had a nice hold after the block punt. We did an extremely good job of, heck, they lost 6 yards on that. And then we had the one long run, the 80-yard run, and that was all fit up. And our outside linebacker got clipped on the play, and no one's, didn't get called, and we didn't get over it real well because we were expecting the cut back. It just hit different than all the other ones they ran, And kids played really good on defense. I'm real proud of the way they played on defense. That crew was a very good crew. Probably the best crew we've had all year. But the guy on our sideline got upset about I don't know what. I think he came in upset. I don't know if it's something from the past. I didn't recognize him, but he took a lot of stuff personal, and he was a little vindictive about it too. We had a pass interference there with 5 minutes left. He pulled the flag out to throw it, and then he just looked at me and tucked it back in. So, that's on him.
Pitman is now tasked with a must-win game against Atwater High this week at home. The Pride must beat the Falcons if they are to stay in contention for a league title and a playoff berth.
Atwater should be just as difficult as Buhach Colony.
They got the size, they got the speed, and they have the skill players that should present some interesting matchups for the Pride this Friday.
Well, Atwater's a good football team. Very physical, big. They got a great return guy. They've got a returning quarterback, good tight end. Very good up front on both sides of the ball. 2 really good linebackers. I see every week as anybody can beat anybody. From what I can tell from looking at things, I think Merced's a really good football team. Obviously, Buhach's a good football team. I think we're a good football team. Atwater, exceptional football team. You know, I think they might even be a little bit bigger than Buhach, physical. So I see it kind of coming down the same way. Hopefully, we'll make some adjustments and make a few bigger plays on offense, and that would help a lot.
In addition to this Friday's Pitman vs. Atwater game, Turlock will travel to Golden Valley to take on the Cougars. Turlock Christian will host LeGrand. Hillmore High will take on Ripon in a battle of undefeateds. Denair High will travel to Augustine, and Del High will host Ripon Christian High. Now we'll be covering that matchup between Hillmore and Ripon High for next week's episode of the Wednesday Night Blitz. So remember, tune in next Wednesday and every Wednesday after that at 7 p.m. for the Wednesday Night Blitz. For Eddie Ruiz, I'm Frankie Tovar. Good night.